Hi, this is IK. Welcome to Grid CSS in React application. I ask artificial intelligence, chat GPT, code me two items in grid container, side by side, 50%, RWD, it is responsive web design. And this is what give me artificial. Give me this code and give me CSS. I copy it in my application tank. I add some CSS, and here is the result of this. I copy in my global CSS some outside file. Here it is. Copy. At first, I create this comment that I know. And here is the name of component what I create for this CSS. And here is a grid container, grid item, and I must add a grid item right because they didn't design say equal. And add CSS what I need. And it is here in global CSS. Here in template folder, I create a component. And it is all this component, card CSS grid. And I copy what artificial gave me, and only I must this rename to grid item right. And here is a text. Here is a text what I copy from before template, and the result is this. You look at when it is white background, we see effect of shadow and border. But here, this is example how you don't need work. It is only beginning some use CSS without any thinking about what happened in responsive web design, etc. And we don't work like that. We work today. We work with grid. We work many years ago with responsive web design, and its principal play was at first grid level 1, and after that coming flex layout and CSS grid level 2. And level 2 CSS grid is something excellent. Very excellent. Small coding than before in level 1. And in this video I show you example of this. Show you example in CSS grid level 2. Here it is. I now change color in black that we have same design like here. Same visibility, same display like here. let's go to CSS. It is here, global CSS. Grid item right, background. I remove this background, and I will have background of grid container. Remove that. It is white. I remove something. Yes, and I get up, gap, padding, font size, font fill, like color. Here in black. Now, okay, right. No, color. I don't change color of font, but background color. Background color in. Here it is. Here it is. It is something like the same. Like here it is, and when we have other size of display, look at here, it is excellent. Go down, but here it is no good because I use margins in pixels, top margins, left, right. We don't work. But here I use vertical alignment. Vertical alignment, horizontal alignment. It is justifying horizontal, and it functions excellent in design, in responsive design. Go down to responsive design. It is grid container. You see border, background, font size. What I want to show you where it is. What is important? Important is that switch when screen would be 768 pixels, like mobile or like tablet. A grid container go to 1. It is like before columns, all columns was 100%. Now it is one frame, one area is place for one item. In one place for one item. It means one item. It means one item would be on the screen. It means 100% wide, but it would be that wide. Here it is. Look at grid template columns 1 and 1 frame. It is when we see two parallel side by side, two columns with equal width, a gap between items, add padding, but down, responsive adjustment for smaller screens, a switch to single column layout. Yeah. Here it is, single column layout. And when we don't write column width, concretely here display grid, and here container, grid container. There is no width. We didn't declare width. It means that width would be 100%. That our grid container will be side by side of parents, entire side by side parents HTML element. This is very relaxed job, I must say you, because before we have float left and before grid at first we have table for layout of entire HTML web page. But of course it would not be responsive. And after that, coming long times, like it is with technology, times of duration of lasting one technology is shorter and shorter. But that tables last some years, and all that years we have big problems with position. There is absolute relative position, and that float left there is a lot of problems with spacing, catastrophic, and it was very many people I think get back from design because of that period. But now, after grid we have excellent situation, very relaxed situation, because grid take like table our layout, but it is flexible. And after grid level 1 we have grid level 2, like you see here. It is very simple. We don't need calculate every columns and write every columns. But we have only with very little coding, and this adding CSS is enjoyable, because we don't have disasters. We only change that attribute, that CSS, and look at and go to our target, to our goal, what we want. We didn't have a mobile in that time of tables. Mobile coming, smart mobile coming 2007, and after that we some years after that we were starting grid level 1, level 2, flex layout, and the job of designers began to be excellent, relaxed job. But role of JavaScript jump, go to sky, and JavaScript is a full programming language. Functional, can be functional, object-oriented, imperative, declarative, procedural, and all that together give. We have no the developer. There is no problems with excellent design with Flex and CSS Grid level 2. But now have big problems of programming, because programming is something different than structure HTML, structure and CSS formatting. But a lot of support and a lot of instruction, a lot of possibility to learn on the internet. I think that times is changes, and the developers go to more and more to programmer side, to understand programmer side, to work to full stack. And I think that the dividing between dividing developers to front side and end side, front end and back end, will disappear in time, and all developers would be only developers, never mind what end, back end or front end is need, because product is that both sides together, and very, very near one and other. You see JS6, we spoke about JS6. It is a mix of JavaScript and HTML, mix HTML and CSS also. And it is like that. Only corporate company can have separate a lot of working places, separate and specialize. But middle and small and micro company cannot have separate and narrow specialized people. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and in the next video I show same card doing by Flex layout.